Welcome your host, Renee Taylor.
Just walk away, you won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks on my black are not the same. You're not to blame.
Hi, I'm Renee at Robert Restaurant. I'm so excited to be here because I love New York and I love great food and I love the ambience at Robert Restaurant at Columbus Circle and I love the view and I love love. I'm a love addict. I never get enough love, and too much is not enough. And so that's why I'm happy to be here with our guests and to talk about love today. This was a picture of my husband, who I met. We were married for 52 years, and the moment that I saw him, I couldn't breathe. And I wrote a song about him that we put in Love Is All There Is, which was the first movie that Angelina Jolie did. And we directed it and wrote it and starred it at Joe Bologna. And when I met her, I always gave her career advice. And then when I went to a party that she and Brad Pitt gave, and here she is looking at Joe. That's me here. There's Brad Pitt. There's Angelina. I said to her, you see what happened to your career when you didn't listen to me? Here is my wedding picture with Joe Bologna. And here's the song that I wrote. That was in Love Is All There Is. The music was by Jeff Beal, and Joe made it fit into the music. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't run away, nor move or speak, play hide and seek with love. I saw your face, the face of love, an angel. You are love, and love, it's real, it's really all there is. And that's how it was with him and me for 52 years. And it continues. He's here today. He's sitting right over there. I don't know if you can see him, but I can. And Liza Minnelli's wedding we went to when she got married the second time. And Michael Jackson was the best man, and Elizabeth Taylor was the maid of honor. And the vows were, he said to her, the bridegroom said, I love you not only for who you are, but for who I am when I'm with you. And I was crying. I said to Joe, why can't you write something like that and say it to me? And Joe said, that's a Johnny Mathis song. And he sang it to me. That didn't work, that marriage. But she's only 75. She has time to have another one. Oh, now I want to introduce a wonderful entertainer, Chris Tanner, and he's going to sing a wonderful song for you.
That old black magic's got me in its spell. That old black magic that you weave so well. Those icy fingers up and down my spine. That same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. That same old tingle that I feel.
Chris Tanner.
Hello.
Hello. I love what you're wearing.
I'm so honored to be here with you, Renee.
I'm so honored to be with you. You made this suit?
Yes, I did.
It looks like it's an Armani.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank
Except you put a little
this and that.
doodads on
Yes,
it.
yes.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. What size is it?
Listen, I can make one just for you.
Oh, you're kidding!
Yes.
Oh, I would wear it everywhere. I would wear it everywhere.
Thank you,
You
my
know,
dear.
you made a video of singing to cows that I couldn't stop crying seeing it.
Oh,
Would you
thank
share
you.
it with
Oh,
everybody?
yes,
He loves
please.
animals.
Yes, I was.
You're addicted to cows or everything?
Well, I'm addicted to love too.
Oh, good.
And I was alone, without, during COVID, for
And on that clear day,
and there was nobody to talk to.
on that
So I just started talking to the cows.
And they love it.
To
They
the-
love it. They love the singing.
Yeah,
Look
thank
at
you.
that. That's so beautiful.
Oh, it went out. Yes. I really found love looking at, I don't know animals so much. I had a dog, but looking into the eyes of these incredible animals.
And where's the farm that your mother has?
Well, actually, it's not her farm, but I
Oh.
just would try, just walk for hours
Oh.
and meet. I had a pig. I had
Oh.
a pig that I fell in love with.
Oh,
I met these fantastic lambs,
Oh.
jumping and frolicking,
Oh.
and I got a little close one time, and the mother came at me like with these horns, looking all crazy, and I said, "Ooh, better go." But there was some kind of, fantastic connection, and they remember you. During COVID, I really, didn't know anybody.
well,
in this
I
area.
went to Florida and I swam with the dolphins.
Oh, you
And I
did?
said, "It's Renee. I'm here. I told you I was coming." And they're very psychic, these animals. And they started, "Renee, Renee, Renee."
Yes, isn't that incredible? I mean, to look in these amazing faces and looking into their eyes. And I really felt something. I mean, I felt like they recognized me because I was there for almost 4 months. So they really became, especially this pig called Fiona. And I would just call her Fiona, Fiona, and then she comes running around the corner, and I'd feed her carrots, and there's just something about the animals. And so now I'll never be without the animals.
Oh,
And I'll never be without love.
oh, thank you.
What a
Thank you
sweet
so
girl you
much.
are.
Here they serve champagne and caviar, and
Yes.
I'm forced to have some
Oh, it's a terrible
every
thing.
day. So,
Gorgeous.
by the way, if people come here, say Renee sent you and ask for a special table with the view.
Oh, the view, isn't it incredible?
Incredible.
There's no other view like this in New York City. And the food is fantastic. They have risotto with truffles.
You're
My
kidding.
Goodness.
Caviar.
Oh,
Could
my
I have some
goodness.
caviar to go with my champagne?
2, please.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Dr. Fauci said that you can't share.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I'm sorry.
My goodness. Well, do you have some second string caviar?
Huh?
Do you have some B caviar that I could have?
B? I'll ask in the kitchen if I think they only have A. I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
But anyway, it was so great. What?
Oh.
Oh, yeah. We have swag on this show.
What? Oh, swag.
And this
Oh,
is-
merch?
This is a towel. People stop me on the street and say, "What is that I smell on your towel?" And I say, just like the laundry commercials.
Uh-huh.
Here, smell it. I say, "It's Tom Ford."
Oh, I smell
And
Tom
I've
Ford.
smelled him.
Oh.
He smells just like this. And I want you to have
Gorgeous.
this towel.
Oh, thank you, Renee. I'm going to keep it close to my heart. You're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
you're such a legend. I'm so glad to have met you.
I'm not a legend. I'm
You
a
are
legend.
a legend.
Thank
You're
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now.
Now I want to introduce somebody who put me on the
You think I'll crumble?
on the
Think I'll leave?
gay parade float, and he put me on with Donatella, freaking Versace, and also Liza Minnelli, Randy Rainbow. It was the 4 million people, and he was the bartender for 52 years at Stonewall, and here he is now, Tree. Tree, I'm so happy to have you here.
How are you, darling?
That was such an exciting day when you put me on the float.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. You mean Liza, you were Lorna Luft.
Lorna Luft,
Not
too.
Liza.
Oh, did I say, did you know that Lorna Luft said that because her mother died, Judy Garland, that started the riots?
No, it didn't.
Oh,
Liza says no, Lorna says yes.
oh. But
But
anyway,
the riot was started because we had enough of police raids.
yes. So what was that like that night?
Well, I was in there dancing
Uh-huh.
with my friends, doing the Lindy. Most people have no idea what that is. And all of a sudden we heard screaming and everything in the other room, and we knew it was a raid because we heard this drag queen Gypsy go, "Leave me alone, my husband's a cop,"
Oh, my God.
just to annoy the police. And then we knew there was a raid, and we were in the other room dancing, so they moved us to another room. It was raided by police headquarters and the vice squad, not the neighborhood precinct. And one of the cops from the neighborhood precinct came in to see what was going on, and he noticed that we were with a friend of mine named Gregory, and he knew Gregory was a Catholic priest,
Oh,
so it wouldn't be nice for Gregory to be caught in a bar then in 1969. So Charlie let one by one of us sneak outside after
and
the
there
police.
was tear gas.
Well, that was the next day when the riot got bigger and bigger.
Oh, my
The night of
God.
the rebellion, we were outside, and we broke a window, and everybody says Marcia Johnson threw the first rock. And years later, she admitted she didn't get there till 2 in the morning when the rebellion was almost over.
Oh.
But we were there having a great time. I was laughing. Everybody says, "Was I afraid?" I go, "No, I was having fun. I was always a good boy. Here I am throwing rocks and bottles at police cars, and I was having the time of my life."
But
until
that started the whole
that
liberation.
started the liberation. And when we saw the police coming down with the nightsticks, we ran around the corner to a little restaurant called Mama's Chicken Ribs, where I was working at the time as a waiter manager, and that was 1969. And the next night the rebellion started, but a lot of us saw cameras and were afraid because our parents had no idea I was gay yet.
Oh, my God.
So we had to hide that
And
fact.
Lady Gaga came to the bar.
She did a big show outside the bar.
And who else did? Madonna came.
Madonna,
Fran came.
she came on New Year's Eve and sang. I have
Oh,
pictures of me and her together.
That's so wonderful.
And I reminded her that I saw her 35 years ago at Charlie's West wearing the black dress with the crucifixes, and she went, "Neither one of us are that old."
Oh. And you've been going all around the world talking about
Well, I
that
traveled,
night.
the State Department sent me to Serbia and Ukraine to help them with their gay rights movement. I was at Euro Pride in Vienna. I made a speech for 350,000 people.
Wow.
And I was supposed to go to Greece last year, but unfortunately the pandemic canceled that. And I'm hoping to go to Copenhagen this year.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's World Pride and Euro Pride at the same time.
Oh, that's great. Maybe I could come and be on a float there.
I don't know if there's going to be float. Usually I'm on
Oh.
a stage making speeches, telling everybody what happened,
Oh.
and I get the free food, free booze, and I'm happy. Free airfare.
Oh, that was a really thrilling. The Gay Pride Parade was really in New York. Was
I only
really
missed 2.
Really.
And one was raining, and this is one tree that doesn't like rain.
Oh.
And the second time I was in Brazil, and they asked me to come back. I said, "No, I'm too busy having sex."
I remember that.
Oh.
Sing a little of it. I remember sex. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'm going to be 82 in a week, and I still remember sex.
Oh, wow.
I'm 82 years young on April 8th.
I'm going to be 88, but don't tell anyone or my career will be over.
I will never
You
tell
know.
anybody 80. I tell everybody at 38.
Thank you. I am, in a way. I didn't show a picture of my friend Joanne May, who also sings to animals. This is a hawk that was shot, and she took it in and nursed it, and for 32 years that's been a close friend of hers. Can
Oh,
you
I
get a
love-
picture of
I
that?
love people who do that kind of work. I give the credit to all the people that are working through the pandemic. Like, I have a lot of friends that are doctors and nurses. I give them all the credit in the world. And I can't wait to go back to work at Stonewall once this pandemic is
Well,
over.
let me come.
You're welcome anytime. I
I'll
told
s-
you I'm going to take you on a tour.
Okay.
And we're going to do brunch again.
Okay, I'll sing.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, they're bringing in my dessert. Oh, thank you.
Your
Thank
raspberry
you.
tart.
Oh, I love that.
That looks
Thank
delicious.
Uh,
Does it come in blue?
oh,
I can make it blue.
I would
Enjoy.
offer you some, but I only have one fork.
That's okay. I brought my own.
Oh, okay. Anyway, goodbye. Thank you so much.
I love you so much. And we'll talk soon. I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Okay, I hope you're not one of these guys that say they're going to call and then they don't call.
No, I promise I'll call
Okay.
you. So I'll see you soon.
Oh my God. All right, take it. Just save me the cherry.
No, you take it, sweetheart. I'm on a diet. Thank you, guys.
My next guest is, if he wasn't happily married and I hadn't been happily married, I would have run away with him if he would had asked me. And I still feel the same way if he would ask me. He is the most loving guy in the whole world, and he's royalty, he's a lord. And here's a picture of him and me. And are you showing a little bit of a video of the two of us on the nanny?
No, he's on screen already.
Oh, he's on screen already. Okay, well, watch the nanny on HBO, and you can see him. I want to ask you, you've toured in My Fair Lady, and you're such a loving person. I want to ask you how you got to be so loving.
How did I get to be so? Well, first of all, hi, my darling. It's so good to see you, and you're very sweet. If we weren't happily married, we'd be happily married, right?
What?
Um,
Put this in my ear. I'm sorry.
and are you able
We
to
have
hear
a
me?
picture of you when you're 6 years old. Show the picture of him.
I've got all kinds of pictures here of me as a little boy, but you know, I've been very happily married now for 38 years. Not quite up to what you and Joe had, but it just gets better with time. It just gets better and better, like a good wine. Susan and I met back in England in like 1979, I think we first met, 1980. And we got married in 1983 over here at a sort of bizarre, like Robert Altman type wedding. We spent our honeymoon in downtown LA changing a tire on a car that someone had borrowed for the wedding and abandoned in like Normandy and 89th. We thought any minute now we're going to get shot.
What was it
but we
about
had to
her
change-
What was it about her that you fell in love with Susan? What was it about her?
You know, everything. She was so, you know, we were like little pimply white, pale London drama school kids. And in walked this bronzed California ballet dancer actress. And she was so exotic and so unlike anything any of us had ever seen. No one could pluck up courage to ask her out. One day I did. I kind of sheepishly asked her if she'd like to go get a drink, and we did. And you know, she was just so so straightforward. You know, there were no sides to her. There's no sides to Susan. She's very honest and has enormous integrity and great wisdom, and gorgeous. So it was like
Can
kind
you
of
show
what
a
wasn't-
picture of her? Can you show a picture
Yeah,
how
well,
beautiful
I'll
she
show you.
is?
I've got a picture of this is when we first met. Let me show you that. The two of us. Here we are. This is the two of us when we were at drama school.
Ah, how old are you
Isn't
there?
that cute? And then here's us a little later on.
Oh, when was that taken?
That was on a lake in New Hampshire, and
Aw.
that's about 2 years ago, I guess, 2 or 3 years ago, just before the pandemic.
But you didn't tell
And
me.
you know, it's just been wonderful.
You didn't tell me, Charlie, how you turned out to be a loving man like you are, because Rex Harrison, who played in My Fair Lady, was so mean. And you know what he once did? He once said he was married to the most beautiful woman in the world, Lily Palmer. And he said, I want to divorce you and marry Kay Kendall, but she's dying. And I promise you, when she dies, I'll come back to you. That's
Right.
the kind of guy
I
he
know. Oh,
was.
he was a dreadful guy. I know. There's been books written, since, and he was not quite the sort of charming, sexy Rexy that we all thought. But I think I was very well brought up, and Susie, it's like when you've got someone with so much love in your life, it's sort of you kind of absorb it. It's like osmosis. So I kind of we blossomed together, really. I've been so fortunate. When you're in life, you can be so fortunate to meet the people you meet and to have the children that you have.
Oh, I want to see
What's
your
not to
children.
like
Show me your children.
my darling kids. This is the whole family at a night out about a couple of years ago. Those are my two beautiful daughters,
How old are they?
Jenny and Maddie. Maddie is now, well, Jenny is 31, and so
Wow.
Maddie's like 27-ish, seven. I'm trying to think, 90 and 95. Their birthdays were 1990 and 1995.
Tell me about you being a lord. We had two queens on the show, but now to have a lord and
Yeah, that's right. I have to just say, I really enjoyed Tree. He's like the perfect example of good trouble, getting into good trouble. The story of him, having fun throwing bottles and things at the police cars made me chuckle. Good trouble, that is. Yeah, well, what happened is my great-grandfather was president of the Canadian Pacific Railroad, and he was made a lord in 1916 by the king, and the King of England, and it bounced around the Canadian side of the family. And then about 12 years ago, it came over to the American side because, or the English side, because there were no other male heirs. I was the oldest male heir. And suddenly I woke up one morning and I was Lord Shaughnessy.
oh my
So
God.
all I got was a moldy robe. There's no castle. There's no family fortune. There's no buried treasure. There aren't even any retainers. I thought at least I'd get 3 or 4 people with big S's on a kind of,
But do you have a crest?
Sort of,
Do you have a crest?
I do have a crest. Manu Forti, with a strong hand, is our family motto. And there's a crest with an Irish wolfhound on one side and a Canadian beaver on the other.
Oh my God. And do you know Prince Harry? Because I'd like to get him on the show.
I don't know Prince Harry personally.
Or his brother, or his father, or even Meghan,
but I
because
can
she's
tell you
on
this.
everything.
But this is kind of an interesting, because my grandparents were very good friends of the royal family, because my grandfather was an equerry to the king. He actually sort of was a sort of personal secretary to the king. So here's an interesting picture. That's my grandmother and grandfather at the back, and that's the King of England in the front with the dog.
Wow. Oh, and that's something.
That's Joey on the far side, and then Sarah in the middle is my grandmother, and then right in front of Sarah is the King, that's Edward VIII, and then to his right is George VI, became George VI.
Wow.
Little family photo.
That's so interesting.
So yeah, I'm this close to royalty.
Wow. Well, I go to the dog shows, and the American Kennel Club, and occasionally the Queen put her dogs in the show. She has corgis, and occasionally they win.
Right.
Yeah, I think they have to win, otherwise she won't come back.
Right.
But they're gorgeous, all the dogs.
They bark a lot. Corgis tend to be quite, they're barkers.
But you have a dog, right? You have a dog.
Yes. The other love of my life, apart from my wife and my children, the other love of my life is this very noble creature.
Oh, very noble.
That's our dog daughter, Maya.
What kind of a dog is that?
She's like a bit of a Ridgeback, a bit of a Labrador, a bit of a Shar Pei. That's why she's got all these chins, because she's a
Beautiful.
Shar Pei. But she's very lovely. She's very sweet. So yeah, we have three daughters really, two-legged and one four-legged,
You know,
and we love them all. We love them
do
all
you mind?
equally.
Could I ask you to tell a very sad story or not?
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
too
Tell me. I'll
embarrassing,
tell you a sad.
if it's too
Well,
embarrassing, tell me, and we can change the subject. But
no,
I
that's all right.
remember
Go ahead.
when we were on the nanny, you had a business manager who stole all of your money, and I hope he went to prison. You lost everything, and you had to
Yes.
start all over again.
Yes, well, it's a sort of it's a slightly cliched Hollywood story. We weren't totally foolish. We didn't give him power of attorney. He couldn't sign our checks, but we were like one of 18 clients that he, over the years, had been figuring out how to move money around from accounts to accounts. And it was partly our fault for not paying more attention. But we woke up one day and he had disappeared. I said, "What do you mean he's gone?" I called the office and I said, "Can I speak to him?" And the secretary said, "Oh, he's gone." And I said, "What do you mean he's gone?" She said, "He's gone." I said, "Well, do you know when he's coming back?" And she said, "No, we don't know where he's gone." And I went, "Whoops." And so, yeah, we had to sort of, all that money from the nanny sort of just evaporated. And we sort of had to start again. We had to sort of downsize. And when the nanny finished, I sort of went back to work and did a lot of theater and sort of built things up again. But the thing about it is, it's not a sad story. It's actually a really inspiring story because we all have, we can all have things go wrong in life. Some of them are really tragic. This was not tragic. I didn't lose a family member. This was just money. And it was hard times, but we've just been through very hard times for the last year. Us, not as much as some. And you learn to adapt and you discover in adapting how strong you are, how strong your family is and the people around you, and how much you support each other and how important that is. And you kind of rise again through your love and support and skill and dedication and optimism and courage. And it was actually a great lesson in how some of the things you think are the most important things in life just aren't. So in a way, it sounds very strange, but in a way, I'm kind of grateful that happened. I think
Wow.
I became a better person. I think my life got more focused. I got more clear on what my priorities were and who and what
Well, I
I
think it's
loved.
wonderful that you're not bitter, you know?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think this person did it out of malice. I think they had their issues clearly. He did go to jail, got out. And then I heard from the Justice Department about a year ago that he was back in jail for a much longer time. They didn't tell me why, but he's obviously, you know, became a habitual criminal. And that's sad. I wouldn't switch places with him in a million years. So
Did you ask him
I'm
why
not
he
bitter.
did it? Did you ask him why? Wasn't he your
I
best
tried.
man?
That was well, 2 weeks before he took off, he was at my 50, I had a 50th birthday party, and there were only a dozen people that we invited, and he was one of them. And he
Oh,
took off 2 weeks later, and I never did. I did try to get in touch and ask him what the deal was because I could not believe there was um, 20 years of malice. We knew him for 20 years. And we were friends. So I had to believe there was some uh, desperation there. And I was interested to know what it was, but he never got back in touch. I never discovered. So it sort of just went with the wind. And we kind of went on with our lives. And, he's forever condemned, which is
I
sad.
know you have such forgiveness. My husband was like that, Joe. He was very forgiving no matter what anybody did. He had compassion and mercy, and he was brought up by the Jesuits, and he was very empathetic towards
Right.
everybody. I
mean,
love that
it's better
quality.
for you personally. It's better for. I'm sure he would agree that it doesn't do you any good to hold on to those things. It just sits there like a canker, you know. And forgiveness frees you as much as it frees the person that you're forgiving to get on with life. It's a beautiful life, you know. Love of life is, I think, my first love. You know, if you say what my first love is, the love of my life is love of life and wife.
Oh, well, I love you. I will always love you. And if it
Likewise.
ever, and if you ever are free, so am I. Anyway, I love you, Charlie. Thank you so much.
I love you, Renee. I love you, my sweetie. And this is such a fun show. Congratulations on your show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And you know who's on next week? Danny is on. Danny Davis. And also Lainey Kazan is going to be on. And I promised her I would show a picture of her in Playboy magazine when she was just starting out. I know her 55 years. And she's naked, and she said, please, if I'm naked, at least put light over my bosom, and that's what we're going to show now. There she is. Isn't that something? Well, anyway, I think our time is up, and I just wanted to, I hardly drank my champagne. They're not going to be happy with me. Oh.
This was brought to you by a fan.
A fan sent this to me. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take it home and also ask the head waiter if he can get a cork put the bottle in so I could have that. And the bread and butter. You know, they make their own butter here. They whip it up and they add salt, sea salt. It's organic, and it's everything. It's like everything here. It's just great. Now, do we have any extra time so I can tell people about if you come to Robert and you call and you make a reservation and you mention my name, maybe they'll give you this table. Anyway, come just for champagne and caviar, or come for dinner or lunch or a hamburger or lobster, or give me the menu, I'll read it. And they have organic chicken that is to die for because Fran asked them to make it a certain way on the menu. Oh, there's the view of Columbus Circle right out the window. Wow, and that's Central Park. And that's the museum that Robert is on the top of. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? That's the restaurant. And here I am. Here I am, Lord. Bye.